I appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your time. I'm going to try to do this in about 8 or 9 minutes, but I want to talk with you about finishing something that we started as a church a couple of years ago. If you're like me, I get kind of obsessed at times about finishing what I started, and it was a little over 2 years ago that as we began as a church, we wanted to beautify, do upgrades to our building so that one aesthetically attractive as well as functional for the ministry we believe the Lord was calling us to perform. And so it was more than what we believed we could do as a small body in one phase. So we decided to break it up in a series of phases. And so first we began with our worship center, where 100% of the work was done by our people, from working on the stage to the painting of the walls to the laying of the flooring, even to the building of our sound room. And it was a beautiful thing, a great act of unity. But that was phase one. About 6 months ago, we began and accomplished phase two, where we worked on the foyer, the entranceway, new painting there, new flooring, brand new beautiful welcome desk, as well as upgrades to our bathroom. And we only just begun to do work in our children's wing. We divided a dividing wall and double doors, and then flooring through the hallway, but that is where the money ran out. And so what I want to present to you now is phase three. And so if I could, let me share with you what phase three would be, what we would hope to do and accomplish. Phase three would mean us completing the children's wing. That is to put down brand new flooring in each of the children's room, painting in each room as well as the hallway. And then as you make your way through the fellowship hall, going on the back hallway, we want new paint to go on each room in the hallway, in the hallway and in each of the rooms. And then as well, the double room, which is used by the children on Sunday morning and used by adults on Wednesday night. We would also do new flooring there so it matches. Now, also we want to include in phase three work in the worship center. You know, at times when we're showing visuals, videos, and things of that nature, the clarity of whatever it is that we're showing on the screen is not the best. And so we have sought the advice of professionals, and they recommend that we go with an 82-inch monitor that would give us high def and great clarity in whatever it is that we might show, because the current projector we have is dated. And so this would be an option that we could afford and would still yet give an upgrade to our visuals. And so it would include that, along with a monitor placed on the inside of the worship center at the double doors, so that as the praise team is on stage, they're able to view what's on the screen as well as us. And then also maybe a monitor or two out in the foyer as well. One other part of phase three would include the exterior front of the church. As you walk up, you may or may not have noticed that the stucco is somewhat soiled, and we've attempted pressure washing, but to no avail. And so we want to simply paint over the stucco portion of the front of our building. And so that exterior work, along with what we're proposing on the interior, would be what would make up phase three. Now, quickly, somebody may say, well, what about the fellowship hall? In phase three, and which is the final phase, and what we would do to this building, we're intentionally not including work in the fellowship hall. It could use some upgrades, but here's what we're looking at. We believe that project would be great. The flooring and the walls, as well as the cabinet being updated, could get pretty expensive. So here's what we plan to do, is to attach that to our new building project, which will be presented later this year in the fall. And so at that time, when we build the new building, we'll do a makeover of the fellowship hall, as well as our current building will likely primarily become our youth building, and that will be a great gathering area for our youth at that time. So that'll come in the future. But this cost, let me share with you the cost for us to do the items that I just named in phase three. It would be somewhere, based on estimates, about $14,484. And so let me talk next to you about the strategy. How do we plan to underwrite the cost of that? The good news is that we're not starting from zero. We currently have about $6,200 that we can go towards that cost of doing the upgrades. Now that came from several sources. One, we have in our 2018 budget a line item for building improvements. We will use 2,000 from that source. Also, we were blessed by a couple outside of our church who wanted to be a blessing to Berean, who wrote us a check for $2,000. And then another $2,200 we have is just as an excess at the end of the year of 2017, the last Sunday of the year. We had a healthy offering that enabled us to cover all of our obligations in 2017, and this was an excess. And so when you total those together, that's $6,200, and so that gives us a pretty good running start on what we need for phase 3. But the question is then, so how do we come up with the other $8,200, almost $8,300? And so that's what I want to share with you in just a few minutes. What I would like to do is to do the same thing that we did for phase 1. I want to propose a small campaign to raise the rest of the money. And I want to do like what we did in phase 1. If you remember, if you were with us then, we put up what we called a giving tree. I think what we referred to it, and what it was just a tree with giving envelopes attached to it. But each envelope had a dollar amount on it, and it was basically from $1 to $100. So one envelope had $1, one had $2, $3, $4, $5, all the way up to $100. And as you were led, you pulled any envelope you like, and you filled it with the amount of money that was written on that. And the totality of those envelopes, if they were filled, gave us what we needed to underwrite phase 1. We want to do that again, but this time we want to go electronically, where as of Sunday, you'll be able to go online on our website, and there will be dollar amounts that you can click on, and as a pledge to say, this is the amount that I would like to give. But what it would be 1 all the way up to 100. And then some of the smaller increments, there will be multiple options as far as giving, whether it be 1 all the way up to $19. And so what this does is that this allows everybody to be able to participate, even our children. And so, because someone may say, well, what good is $1 or $2 or $3 at a time? But what we want to do is, as a body, work together. And so even for someone who may not who may be an adult, but may not be in a position to be able to give a lot, but they can give something. And so we will as well have, in some of our larger increments, it will be more than one option. It'll, for instance, more than one option to be able to give $50 or $100, but also included in that are blank options, where someone may have the ability and may feel led to give more than even $100. And so whatever that amount is, you would be able to type in that amount. And so what this is basically a pledge. You're not giving online, but you're simply saying, this is the amount that I'm promising to give. And the pledge is helpful for this because it enables us to see how much money will be coming in. And so let me talk with you about the actual giving of the money, because going to the website is just where you go to pledge. And as you click on that, your name is not seen or anything, just the amount that you pledge to give. Now, when it comes to giving it, we're asking that you not give it online. I know many of you give your offerings online, and that's an option that we give. But understand this, that any giving gifts that we get online, there's a portion of it that we lose because there's a cost for the company that we use that gives us that option. And so we want each dollar that comes in to be used for B3. And so we're asking that special pledge and that donation that you give it in one of the old-fashioned way, in one of the envelopes on Sunday morning, and put it in the collection. And you would just simply write on it B3 or for the B3 project, something to that nature. And so all you're doing online is pledging the amount. And so this gives our staff an idea of how much will be coming in. And this campaign, by the way, is a 4-week campaign. It begins May 27th, and for 4 Sundays, beginning May 27th to June 17th, each of the 4 Sundays, whatever you pledge online, we're asking that you give it during that time frame. this is quite a challenge. 8 grand in 4 weeks, but I believe we can do it. Each challenge that we've done in the past, we met it every time. And so we want to get this work done as quickly as possible. So the challenge, you'll be able to pledge beginning on this Sunday, and then the following Sunday, you'll be able to give. And so at the end, on June 17th, will be the final Sunday that you would give. And so here's what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to pray about what the Lord would have you to give. And we're asking that this be on over and above your regular giving. So you give as you normally give, the amount that you give, but whatever it is you pledge would be an addition, a one-time gift. If you choose one option or 2 or 3, whatever dollar amount it totals up to, you give it during the 4-week span. And then at the end of that time, we'll keep you abreast on how close we're coming. But we're hoping to maybe by the end of June begin this work, and maybe by July sometime have it all done. And so we need you. So 3 things we're asking you to do. We're asking you to pray about what the Lord would have for you to give. Then we're asking you to pledge. Go to our website and say, this is the amount that I want to give. And then you give it during the 4-week period of time. That's as simple as we can put it. If you got any questions, each of the staff members are open to any questions, any further details you might have, but we're hoping that you'll respond, and I know you will. And so we're looking forward to seeing our new phase 3 completed this summer. Thank you.